Did you do your homework?
Yes, I did. I did it last minute, like I usually do.
Yeah, I did mine last night too.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
took notes though.
I did it
I
last
took
night, but then
notes. Oh, you can't see it.
oh yeah, no, I can see.
So I watched Beverly Hills Cop as my homework. I am glad that I did this. I should have done this a long time ago. The thing that I noticed about Beverly Hills Cop is it felt like a sequel.
Really?
You know what I mean? In the way it's like the movie jumps right in. Like it
Yes.
jumps right into everything. All the characters, they're like, oh yeah, we have this history. Like it seems like everything that like all the introductions to all these characters were real quick and they got to the point real quick, which was cool. And it kept,
Yeah.
I was like, yes, yes. Also, Axel, I don't really see an arc of change in his character, which is fine because Axel is
Uh-huh.
solid. Like he's solving a murder. He doesn't change from beginning to end. He's teaching people because he's already solid. That's what sequels do. He teaches everyone around him
Hmm.
how like certain things. Like they teach him how to lie. That scene where he does a perfect scene, he's lying. He's just like, and then these guys stay
These are
a
super
day,
cops.
super cops. And then they're just like, is that what happened? And it's just like these cops can't lie and they tell the truth. And he's like, he's super cool about it too. He's like,
I know.
I hope you guys know that was working. We were doing great. We had a great lie going. I hope you guys know that. It was great. It was really good. But you guys are still cool guys. You guys are good. Let's just
Uh,
remember that when the lie is working, you go with the lie. And he's just like
yeah.
walking out. He's just not mad either. He's like, whatever, like you guys could have been the heroes. Let's go.
Yeah. No, he's great in that, isn't
Mhm.
he? That's like his best performances for me.
Yeah, and I love how he enjoyed him. Yeah, Axel Foley is a solid character for like from this one origin story, Beverly Hills Cop.
Mhm.
It's like I didn't I wasn't wondering where did he come from, all this stuff, because it showed me right away and I was like, oh, I'm already established. So that's why I felt like a sequel. And I'm
Yeah.
not saying this, but they could do a prequel sort of thing or like even a book prequel and just talk about Axel's origins because that character is solid. I don't know where it goes in the sequels, but that character is good.
Yeah. No,
Axel
that's the thing.
Foley.
They kind of ruin him in the sequels because, like you said, you made a awesome point, which that's the best part about Axel is that he does teach everybody because he's a solid human being. He has his priorities straight.
He already knows who he
He
is.
yeah, he's kind of a renegade cop, but he's not like destroying the city. He's actually very smart of what he does
Mhm.
and how he handles situations. Um, but in the other movies, he's 90s Eddie Murphy, where he was just up his like he was just so high off of his own
Mhm.
success. So he was just always talking, blowing shit up, and it was just it got a little stupid because that's a great thing about that movie too that the other movies don't do is that it takes itself seriously, but it still has a sense of humor. But it's a legit like people die and it's sad.
When the best friend dies, that sets him off to figure out who killed his best friend. I gasped about how they killed him and how dark it was, how like menacing that like murder scene was. I was like, oh my
Yeah.
god. And I kind of wanted Axel to wake up and see it and see the devastating because everything was happening
Yeah.
so fast that I was like, I kind of wish I saw him break down a little bit. But Axel Foley's just that's not him. He's just ready for like revenge type.
Yeah. So did you know originally it was supposed to be Sylvester Stallone.
What?
And yeah, and he was but Sylvester Stallone he wanted more like explosions and stuff, and everyone was like, "No, we want this to be like kind of more low key."
Mm-hmm. Save money.
Yeah, yeah, right. But also the guy that plays the police chief in Detroit,
Mm-hmm.
that was a real police chief.
No way.
Yeah, yeah.
I like Beverly Hills Cop a lot. I would give it like 4.4 stars, maybe 4.5 stars out of 5. It's really good.
Nice. I wanted to watch Last Black Man in San Francisco. And I thought this movie was brilliant. It was pretty amazing. I wasn't expecting it to be so funny in certain areas.
Mm-hmm.
Like especially the beginning when the preacher he's like
Oh
saying,
yeah.
"We don't have hazmat suits."
Why
It's
do
so
they have
weird how
hazmat
that
suits?
yeah, yeah. It's so weird how that correlated with what's happening now. Like even at
Mhm.
the montage of them going to white San Francisco, the white side of it,
Yeah.
there are people wearing masks.
This was before the pandemic, but yeah, that's a huge yeah. I like the portrayal in this movie that there's two sides of San Francisco.
Yeah, no, and it was done. It was like it felt like a Spike Lee movie, but it had more substance and it knew how to preach without shoving the message down your throat.
Hmm.
Because that's what
But
Spike
even
Lee
though they
movies do.
literally have a preacher in the beginning scene, the first shot.
But see, that felt like it kind of felt like a jab at Spike Lee, the beginning of
So,
the movie.
yeah, that I like that perspective. Yeah.
Yeah, because the way that they shot it and everything, and the way that the characters talking, because there is kind of a strange way people talk to each other, but with the preacher, it felt very Spike Lee, and it felt like they just like got the shit out of the way.
Talking to nobody.
Yeah,
He's
he's
just
talking to
screaming.
fucking
He's
see.
saying
Yeah,
his message, and these two people are just waiting at the bus stop across the street from him. It's such a good movie. It's so
it is, and the cinematography is great,
Mhm.
and the message is all there. Like I said, like it reminds me of Spike Lee when if he's not being so egotistical, you know, like
Mhm.
that's why I think Spike Lee's ego gets in the way of his actual message,
Mhm.
and he just wants to say that he's smarter than you. Basically, he's smarter than anybody in the room. This director, uh, Joe Talbot, was just he did it so subtle while still playing with the camera a lot and doing a lot. He like the music in this too is pretty awesome. Like he made
Yes.
music and camera work be a character, be
Hmm.
characters in the movie.
Hmm.
Um, I thought it moved a bit slow at times, but the performances are fantastic. I love the surprise cameos too. We have Danny Glover, Mike Epps, and Tashina Arnold, who was
Hmm.
in Martin. But the main standout of the entire movie is Jonathan Majors, who plays the friend. He was fantastic. And the best scene of the movie, the scene where I laughed the hardest was when he's watching the group of people at Street Gang.
Hmm.
He's watching them just fight with each other, and he has this pencil in his notebook. And he runs up to them, he's like, "No, no, 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 no! Cut, 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 cut!" And he's just, and they're all like, at first I was nervous. I was like, "Oh man, are they gonna
Something's
like
gonna
beat the
happen
shit
to
out
him.
of him?"
Yeah.
But that's the great thing about this movie, though. It's not. It doesn't do that. It doesn't really do it. Like there's one character that does die, but it it it's very positive. It's a very light-hearted movie.
The whole movie is about building a foundation that you can have anywhere. It's really long because that's how you can kind of tell like it's his project because he didn't really take anything out. And I think if he had any other studio that would pick it up majorly, I think it would have been a lot different, even cut like half as long because it is very long and there's moments that are like, I don't know if this needed to be in it, but I get why it's in here. Like I'm feeling
Yeah,
something from it, but it didn't need to be in this. And I think that's really cool of his first project that he did this because him and Jimmy, the main actor Jimmy and the director are like they wrote it together and they like
yeah.
they were they worked together before and this was their first major production. And so it's a bit of that both of them in this movie. And that's why it's so long because it's basically two stories integrated into this one.
You know, it's pretty fantastic. I wasn't again, I wasn't expecting to laugh so much. Not really towards the end. The end it was getting pretty sad. Especially once certain things are revealed. It's and that scene when he runs into his mom on the bus is like, oh my
That
god.
happens so quick. You're like,
I
whoa.
know. I would rate it probably like a 4.5 out of 5. Like I thought was shot beautifully, but
Mhm.
it went on for so long.